Hi guys. So someone asked about the chickens, about the free range part of the chickens. In my last video, they were on the hill, loose, free ranging. And the question was, do they go back in their enclosure at night? Do they, about their habits about returning back to their enclosure. And the funny thing about chickens is, I'm doing this at night, or really it's early this morning. They have some kind of a mechanism in them that makes them like paralyzed at night. So the best thing to do with the chickens, I'm gonna try to go in here. Anytime you have to move them or work with them, you do it at night. And like if you're going to take them to a new enclosure, they're just like they're awake. I'm going to kind of come in here and block the light. But I mean, I'm just going to kind of light this up. You can maybe see them here. But you can handle them because it's like they're blind. It's like they're blind. Now the ducks are different, but you can, hold on here. You can, I don't know if you can see that. You can, but they get alarmed when they're sleeping and the light comes on them. So that's, but they will come back in this building, this little building I've got here, after free ranging through the day. When the light starts getting low, they'll come back in because that's their defense mechanism, is to hide in the dark. So not really like hide, but to come back in. There's the old rooster, and there's all the baby Brahmas. So anyway, I'm not sure that was helpful, but they do come back in. They come back in at night after free ranging. So probably the best thing to do is to, once they're used to their enclosure, probably 2 or 3 weeks maybe, if they're brand new, they've never been there before, just leave them in their enclosure. And maybe I'll add in the morning when it's daylight, I'll come out here and show you the enclosure. The best thing, after they're used to it, they'll go in and out once they know where they're going and what they're doing. But in my particular situation, I've got dogs, and I have to share this part of land with the dogs, and they will kill the chickens. So I have to rotate things. I have to manage things. And so I have to put the chickens out late in the evening, or late afternoon, like 3 or 4 o'clock, and because I have to share the pasture with them, with the dogs. But also, if I'm not careful, if I let them out too soon in the daytime, they will go everywhere, like way up the hollow. I mean, they'll come back, but once they're outside the fence, it's harder for me to get to them if there's a problem. I'm not climbing the fence for them. I'm too fat, too old for that. Praise the Lord anyway. But, I try to let them out at 3 or 4 o'clock, and then they can graze and pick the bugs and things like that for, till dark, till about maybe 7 o'clock. I'm in the Eastern time zone, so about 7 o'clock, they will start moseying back in their enclosure. I just leave the gate open for them, and they'll come back in. And we just go into that every day. And it's supposed to rain today, so I don't know if I'll let them out later or not. But anyway, I hope that was helpful. I hope it's informative, and we're going to praise the Lord anyway. Have a blessed day. All right, so this is the follow-up part of this morning's video, and we had a question about the chickens and whether when they leave, when you let them out of the pen, do they come back and all that. So this morning's part of the video was how they're kind of asleep or they're paralyzed or whatever that mechanism in chickens. So I'm going to let them out so that they can free range on the hillside. And I've been working up there, burning brush and cutting the brush out and preparing that part of the land for my fruit trees that I bought last year. And I don't have anybody to help me, so it's literally taken a long time to do all this. The fella that I had that actually cut the first part of the big trees, like you see the stumps, like he cut those out last year. But when I paid him for part of the job, he wasn't finished, and I only gave him a little bit of money because when you prepay people around here to work, they don't ever come back. Well, I made the mistake, I paid him, and he never came back. Well, then he died. So anyway, I'm not going to blaspheme him. But the point is, I've been taking up some time, and like I burned that brush and this brush. So I'm prepping this land for to make a more of a permaculture type environment for the fruit trees. So I'm letting the chickens out. I'm letting them out to run up and down this hillside to continue to till the land, because chickens are great tillers. They'll scratch the ground and they'll eat the bugs and the little sprouts of weeds and things. So they're good for that. And you can see here where they've been out most of the winter, in this section there's not much grass. So they do a really good job. The whole point of that story was they do a really good job. So I'm going to let them out. It rained, so I apologize that it's a muddy mess in here. Come on, chickies. Come on, chickies. 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 Come on, chickies. Let's go up on the hill, okay? Come on, chickies. Chickies. Come on. Let's go. Are we coming? Who's coming with me? Come on. Oh, they found the manure. Okay, well, like little children, they're distracted. But some of them will follow me. Come on. Let's go. Chickies. Now, I hatched these Brahma chickens, these hairy-legged chickens, out of the incubator last year. Not those two, but these two. And all of those white chickens. Here you go. Come on, Bubby. Let's go. Okay. All right. She's part of the original flock. And so are these red ones here. But anyway, you can kind of see the ducks are good. I'm not really as upset with the ducks because the ducks go and eat, you know, they eat the bugs and stuff. So but anyway, I'm going to take you a little tour of the chicken pen. So it's just what I've used here is I've collected over the course of time these 6x10 kennel panels, you know, for dogs, dog kennels. And so I went this way, this 10 foot here, and then that's, let's see, 10, 20, so that's 30 feet that way, and then 10, 20 feet to that corner, and then 10 feet back to the building. And they're in here all the time, so there's no shrubbery, there's no grass or anything. They pick it down pretty good. Now I took this tire and I put my ashes from my wood burner stove through the winter time. Now you can't really tell because it just rained, but I put my ashes in there over the winter time, and the chickens will do like a dust bath, so they really enjoy that. Now there's my rabbits. Those are broken New Zealand rabbits. Those are my does. Oh, I can't tell here. Let me see. Well, let's focus. So there's one doe, and there's another doe. There she is. Okay. So anyway, this is not a rabbit story today, but I've got this little building, and I'm gonna get the eggs. We've got a little water problem because the back side of the hill, where this wall is back here, the outside where we're on hillside, so it's the earth is above the bottom of this building. So because water flows down, the inside of this building is below the ground level, so the water naturally flows down and out. So until I get that fixed, we have to get an excavator in here, and we can't do it. I can't do it right now because I don't have the money, and it's a rainy season. So, you know, anyway, it's problematic right this minute. But we're going to clean all this out. You know, so it's not, the water's not running through this building like that. And anyway, so my neighbor made these chicken, this little box, nest boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And then I use these milk crates also. And the funny thing is, let's look together. Okay, there's none in there. I had to, I've got an egg eater, I believe, a chicken that eats eggs. And once that happens, they're really hard to break. And you really either got to make them into soup, or I'm going to try this method so I don't have to make anybody, because I don't know which one it is. But what they'll do is they'll come in here and eat the eggs, and then all this is gone. So what I did yesterday was I sacrificed 3 eggs. I don't know if you can see that or not. But I put a hole in the egg, and I blew out the inside, the yolk, and filled it with mustard and some hot sauce and different things. And then I used candle wax to seal the hole up. So when the chicken will get in here and peck it and eat the egg, they're going to find a very offensive flavor. And maybe that will break them. But this is a real egg, so I'm taking that with me. But I did that doctored egg there, and that's a doctored egg. And this is a doctored egg. But it doesn't seem like anybody's bothering them. So maybe I don't have an egg eater. I just got lazy chickens. So anyway, and then we built these big pens here. I found them on my hillside up there in another part of my property. And I had new fronts put on them. But I haven't used them yet. But anyway, so this is the chicken barn. I mean, it's wet in here right now. I can't do anything about it because of the weather and the financial situation. But so the free range, I mean, you can kind of all see them here. They'll hang out on that hill till it starts getting dark, and then they'll come back. They'll start moseying back in about maybe 7 o'clock when it starts getting dark. And they'll just come in and start roosting. What are you doing, girls? Huh? What is going on? You like that? Okay, so that last video got interrupted. But here's more of the chickens. And we're going to walk through here and just take a look at the girls. Hi, Buffs. Huh? Uh-oh, she says no. That was a negative. She's not going to let me pet her. Maybe she will. Maybe she will. Oh, no, maybe not. Okay. So, what are you guys doing? So I hatched all these baby Brahmas out in the incubator last fall. I may try to put some of that image, those clips in this video maybe, and we'll just do the do a whole video on chickens. So I got all these Brahmas. So they're a bunch of pets, really. So they don't really know about, you know, they get their dinner, their breakfast, lunch, and dinner fed to them. So they're not really like the other chickens that graze and do things. So really they're kind of useless right now. But maybe they'll lay eggs. Well, the boys won't, like he won't. But maybe she will. Maybe she will. What are you guys doing, chickens? Like, I think these two are boys. Like, they hang out together a lot. So, anyway. That's an old chicken, one of the original old chickens, and he's old. And, let's see. I think she's old. These two white ones are old. But the Barred Rock is old. Now that's a young one, though. That Barred Rock, we got her last fall. She's the same age as the Brahmas. We got her at the Rural King. But they're not as big for some reason. I don't understand why they're not very big. And there's the offensive ducks. Uh-oh. He's not having it. He's not having it. He's kind of mean there, that rooster. Because that's a hen. I don't know why he attacked her. But he's learning to crow. Lately, in the last, probably this week, he's learning to crow. And ever since learning to crow, he kind of attacks the hens. And yeah, I don't know all about chicken language, so maybe that's okay, but I tell you, if he attacks me, it's not going to bode well for him. Now those two are about probably the same age, even those two. Actually, all three of those are the same age. But these little ones we got, this one is like, I think it's called a Welsummer. But her, you can tell the big difference between these two sizes. They're the same age, similar ages. But these ones we got at Rural King are really small. I don't understand that. Like those two are the same. Like, I'm going to turn sideways. Like, all of those chickens are the same age, within 21 days of each other. And the Barred Rock, which is that one, and these two dark ones are, we got those the same day at Rural King. But the other two, and these guys that I hatched in the incubator, they're just done so much better. So I don't know. Even that little rooster there, I hatched him out of the incubator. And he just looks so much better than these guys. But that's the chicken. Oh, fall down. That's the chickens. It's not a fancy place, but it's acceptable. What are you doing, Bubby? Huh? You're awful pretty. I don't know what you are. You're a rooster, but I don't know what breed. Just don't be mean to me, because it won't work out for you here. Look at her, how pretty she is, that buff. I don't know what they call her, Buff Orpington or something like that. She's real pretty. And then the barred rock. I think that's what that is. I don't know anything about chickens though. What are you doing, old girl? You digging in my tree? I don't want you to though, okay? I don't want you to dig in my tree. Alright, well we got some dogs and turkey business here. We gotta break him up. Stop, stop. Uncle Tom says stop. Uncle Tom says stop. And these girls, they say stop. Isn't he pretty? How you doing, Tom? He's got broken tail feathers. They were broken when we got him, so I think when he molts or whatever, maybe they'll grow back in and look different, look pretty. And we'll take you over here to these Brahmas. Gotta be careful, because these dogs, they will eat the chickens. And really not so much eat them, but they will just kill them and waste them. So I have to put this in my pocket. Okay. Look over here and see these guys. Well, there's the goats. Hi, goat. Goat, goat. What are you doing, goat, goat? What are you doing, goat, goat? What are you? Uh-oh. There they come. Yeah. So the big rooster that was in with these guys, these hens, I gave him away because he was really mean, and he would sneak attack and flog me, and he's hit me a few times in the leg with his whatever they flogged me with, his beak and his spurs and all that, and I had to correct him a couple times. And one time I didn't think he was going to make it through the correction. I really won't go into the details of the correction, but here's my correcting tool. So I had to correct him, and I didn't think he was going to make it, and I didn't want to, he's such a nice bird, I didn't want him to go out bad, so I gave him away and replaced him with sons that are friendly. So now we've got those 5 hens and two roosters and 2 useless goats. Well, you all met the goats the other day. They're still just as useless as before. So you can kind of see here that the chickens are kind of moseying back into the building, into the chicken coop here. You can see they're starting to just naturally kind of go in there. You can see in the back these guys here, because it's starting to get dark. It's maybe 7:30 my time. But you can just kind of see that once they get into a habit or a routine in their enclosure, you know, once they go out, you know, some of the young ones, they don't really, they're trying to get with the program, but all these baby Brahmas, all these ones here were hatched in the incubator, So they don't really know yet the rules of the old chickens. Like every one of these chickens, even those roosters up there, and all these babies, you know, but they're going to come in. You know, it's not quite as dark as it will be here in another half hour. Now the ducks are different. I don't know anything about ducks, but they do go in though. When it gets really dark, they'll go in. I've only had to chase them in a couple times, but now they kind of know to go back in. But all these baby Brahmas, these young ones that were just hatched in the incubator, and they haven't been going in and out as much as these chickens that have been here for years and years. But those original chickens, you know, like I said, I mean, some of the babies are coming in. You know, I've got 50 chickens almost, so, you know, they're learning. They're learning. But these others, these light buffs or whatever they are, the buffs, and then that old rooster back there, and those white chickens, you know, oh, look up there. There he is. Hi, Bubby. He's got the big lick up on the roof there. So, oh, there's some there. So they get into a routine, so I wouldn't worry at all about them coming in. They'll come in. Have a blessed day.